MotionBuilder now has the ability to record poses for any object in the scene, not just characters. So we're going to be using the pose control window to animate a prop in our environment. So the first thing that I need to do before I begin working with this prop with the poses is generate some custom keying groups. And what custom keying groups do is they allow us to specify what attributes are going to be recorded in a pose and what attributes are going to get keyframed if I hit the keyframe button. Previously in MotionBuilder we had keying groups, so it would let you filter out whether you were going to key translation, rotation, a combination of those. And the custom keying groups works in a similar fashion. It just allows you to specify exactly what attributes on what nodes are going to get keyed for that given keying group. So we're going to go ahead and set that up by just populating this list in our property editor with some of the umbrella attributes. So we'll grab the root node of the umbrella so we can position it, translation and rotation. I'm going to grab the node called opener, which is going to be this little piece of geometry that slides up and down the shaft of the umbrella. And I'm also going to grab the cloth node, which is going to be sort of the fabric closing and opening. And we're just going to drag and drop those into our property editor. So now that we've done that, we need to go ahead and create a new custom keying group. In this example, we're going to be creating local keying groups. And I'm going to specify what attributes I want to have keyed. So we'll grab the translation and the rotation for the root node. We'll grab just the translation for the opener node. And we'll grab the blend shape node down here in the bottom. So that's been set up. I'm going to go ahead and name this custom keying group something meaningful. And with that said, I'm going to create a second custom keying group, and this one's going to be a little bit more limited in the attributes that are going to be included in it. I want to have a pose, the ability to record a pose of just the umbrella opening, closing. So regardless of where it's translated to or rotated to, I want to be able to make that umbrella pop open really quickly or close really quickly and not have it change its position. So to do that, we're going to create another custom keying group, and in this one we're just going to simply add the blend shape for the opening and closing. And let's go ahead and remove that one. We don't need that one. And we'll rename this open, close. All right. So what we've done is we've generated two new custom keying groups. You can see that I have the uCloth node highlighted, so I have the ability to filter out in my key controls either the custom keying group for umbrella or the custom keying group for open close. Now before we go ahead and we start keying this, I want to just sort of position this guy. Let's get it into a position down. We'll zero out the rotation on this, the blend shape on that, and we'll sort of put this over here. Let's make sure the girl is actually holding onto the umbrella. That's probably a good idea. So we'll just create an auxiliary effector, which is just like a second IK chain on top of the control rig. And that just gives me a really quick, easy way of parenting that hand into the hierarchy of the umbrella. So now obviously if I grab the umbrella and begin translating it around, her little arm goes along for the ride. All right, so there she is. Let's just give this umbrella a little bit of rotation, something sort of like that, hanging out with her umbrella. And what we want to do is we want to begin recording poses. So if I just hit the record pose button right now, I'd basically just be recording translation and rotation for this node. And that's not really what we want to have happen. I want to have the pose that we're going to take a snapshot of actually grab all the attributes in the umbrella custom keying group that we've made. I'm also going to go and create a folder here. We now have the ability to have folders, which is great if you have more than one character or more than one object in your scene now that you want to have poses stored for. It gives you a way of sort of organizing what's going on. So our umbrella is set in our key controls, which means when I generate a pose, all the attributes that we made in that custom keying group are going to be the attributes that are recorded with that pose. So we'll go ahead and we'll create that. We now have the ability to, obviously we have these little snapshots here, which is again a really nice feature because a lot of times I'll be just cranking out poses and I won't take the time to name them. And I know that that's probably not the best workflow, but sometimes that's the way things happen, and the ability to actually have the visual representation of what's in that pose is actually it's a really cool thing. So let's go back to the pose controls, make sure we're set to umbrella one more time, and we'll record that. So what we have now is we've got these two poses that we've recorded. At any time you can right mouse click on top of it and bring up the connection editor, and this will show you what you have set in your keying group and what you have set in your pose. So what's recorded and what's going to get keyed, and whatever attributes line up, obviously those are going to be the ones that have the ability to get keyed. So if we double click on the closed umbrella, obviously the hand rotates down. If we double click on the open umbrella, the hand translates up and the umbrella opens. Now, if you remember previously, I mentioned that I wanted to have the ability to open and close this umbrella regardless of where it was positioned. And that's why we went ahead and we made another custom keying group that had just the attribute for the umbrella opening and closing. So if we grab this guy right here and we go open close, with this highlighted, I've set my keying controls to open close. So if I create a new pose, all we're really recording in this pose is the blend shape attribute. That's the only attribute that was included in that U-cloth pose. So with that being said, we can go down here now and crank that guy down, record another pose. So now I have some poses that obviously let me open and close the umbrella. And they also have some poses, if we jump over here to the umbrella keying group, that will let me drop the umbrella. And now I can open the umbrella in its dropped position also with this second set of poses that we've made. So that's just a quick overview of the improvements that have been made to pose controls, the snapshot in the little window here, the ability to create folders, and working with custom keying groups to really accelerate the workflow.